everybody, it's Romania Black, and we are on Attack on Titan Volume 14. Aha! Last volume was really interesting because we got lots of extra stuff with Eren, a little bit of shuffling around of content from the manga and its anime adaptation. I was kind of stunned by the last volume because we did the entirety of Season 2 in Volumes 9, 10, 11, and 12. We did all of 12 episodes of Season 2 in 4 volumes. And the last volume was literally like an episode and a half. Was the whole volume. So I was like, oh, wow, we really, we slowed down a little bit. I mean, we got basically Volume 13 covered the end of Episode 12, the first episode of Season 3, Part 1, and got into the second episode a little bit. So like almost 2 episodes in an entire volume that was a fourth of Season 2. So I was like, wow, that is crazy. And we've not even legit officially met Kenny yet. We saw Kenny in the flashback of Historia. We know it's Kenny if you've watched the show, but we haven't officially met him yet. And it was subtly previewing a little bit of Levi info that's going to get tied in, things like that, la la la. I feel like I'm going to wait on No Regrets just a little bit more. I'm recording this a little bit ahead, so the people that are going to be seeing Volume 13 will not have seen it as I'm recording this. So I'm going to wait on No Regrets at least past this volume. And then maybe after Volume 14, if people are like, oh, you should react to No Regrets, maybe I'll do that alongside Volume 15. We'll see. Or I'll do it at the end of Season 3 Part 1's content. We'll just see. Or maybe I'll do it after this one. I don't know. And do it right before we get into Volume 15. I don't know yet. I'm going to probably ask Patreon what they want me to do about that, because No Regrets at this point, I feel like No Regrets probably should have been reacted to. It probably should have been reacted to like back before starting Season 2, because it was Erwin and Levi meeting. I mean, honestly, I may just wait for No Regrets until the end of this part before diving into season. You know, that might be a good idea. I'm like thinking out loud saying this. It might be a good idea to just wait for No Regrets until after Season 3 Part 1 is over. And then because when we get to Season 3 Part 2, that's the whole thing with Erwin and Levi and Erwin dying. So it would kind of make more sense to do it then. Yep, let's do that. I'm just deciding as I'm talking with you all. We'll just do that. Mm-hmm. Make it easy. Make it easy. We'll just do a big 2-parter there. That'll be fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. We'll start Season 3 Part 2's content along with No Regrets. We'll just do that together. That seems like it's an appropriate thing to do. So yeah, I do want to make note. I've got a couple comments to talk about, but I didn't realize Volume 14's cover I had already seen by accident, and that's because a while back when I was finishing the anime, when I caught up with the anime, I was so excited. I was like, I've caught up with the anime. I can go look at anime merchandise now, because I had assumed that as long as you weren't looking for manga stuff, you weren't going to see anything with the manga. However, I did, I have these glasses that I use that are blue light, and then I have legit reading glasses that I use because I'm blind without contacts. And I found this glasses cleaner that is the cover of Volume 14. Didn't even realize it at the time. I was like, oh, I love this because it says Dedicate Your Heart. It has Erwin, Levi, and Hanji, my fave trio. I mean, I like Eren, Mikasa, and Armin, don't get me wrong, but come on. And so I really loved this, and it had like a Wild West feel to it, which Season 3 Part 1 definitely has a Wild West feel to it. And so I really liked this, right? I love the pose. I love Erwin without his arm. Hanji looks like a badass. Levi looks like he'd rather be anywhere else, but he's, really wants to be with them, so he's begrudgingly with them. So, I really loved this. And then I saw Volume 14's cover and was like, glad nobody brought that up, because it was a nice little surprise. Like, oh, cool, I already had seen it. But I really like this cover a lot. But before we dive in to Volume 14, I do have 2 comments that I do want to address. They concern Mikasa and Armin, and I feel like as we're getting into this Season 3 content, getting closer to the basement, it's important to address. Joseph brought up the fact that the fandom was actually mad at Mikasa and Armin at the end of Season 2, and even towards Season 4 Part 2, for not noticing or addressing Eren's depression. I was like, I brought my notes. I wrote, in big letters. I feel like we're going to talk about this more with Season 4 Part 2, but here's the thing. There's a lot of factors with that. And when Joseph mentioned that in the comments, I was like, really? Because one, the world of Attack on Titan, if you try to imagine being in this world where everyone is in a state of despair and panic because they could at any moment be eaten alive by these cannibalistic Titan creatures, I think the last thing you'd be thinking of is, wow, Eren seems a little down in the dumps. It's probably depression. They're probably just thinking, oh no, he's feeling like everyone else in that world at the time, right? So I feel like there's that angle of it. But also, if you know anybody that has had depression or has depression, or you've had depression yourself, it's not something that you just look at somebody and go, ah, they're depressed. You know, a lot of times it's something you don't even notice. You can't notice, right? Even if someone seems like it. We as the audience reading Attack on Titan are kind of in this privileged little bubble because Isayama is showing us these characters and angles that the other characters aren't seeing. Like, I instantly thought of last volume, that shot of Eren looking away from everybody, feeling depressed because he thinks the same thing that happened to the Levi squad is going to happen to his friends. If you look at that panel, no one behind him sees his face. They just see Eren sweeping the floor and don't think anything about it. But we, the audience, get the chance to see Eren from an angle nobody else in the story can see. And so we get to see all these markers and signs that, yeah, Eren is depressed and he's got a lot going on, but we're seeing stuff that the other characters are not seeing. And that kind of goes back to the content of season 2, is that Armin and Mikasa make note, they're like, Eren's always ahead of us. Eren's always ahead of us, separating himself from us. We only see his back. We don't see him from the front to know what he's thinking or what his emotions are. So I got kind of sad at that comment because I was like, well, of course they can't know that he's depressed because at this point, everybody in the series is going through a state of despair and turmoil, and it just seems like the norm. It's hard to, you know, Armin and Mikasa are not licensed therapists. They can't diagnose things like that. So, I was just kind of like, come on now. Now you're all splitting hairs. But besides that, I like Daki had a really cool comment on Patreon, and Daki's comment talked about how Mikasa's confession, a lot of people think that Mikasa was just confessing her love for Eren because she thought that they were about to die in that moment. And that is a part of it, but I really liked that Daki commented that really Mikasa's confession wasn't for herself, but was to make Eren feel like he wasn't useless. Because up until the moment she confesses, Eren's like sitting there howling on the ground about how nothing's changed. He's still useless. He's not able to help anyone. And Mikasa's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not true. You've helped a lot of people. You've helped me. And so her confession is to make Eren feel better. To be like, no, you have had an impact on Armin and myself. You saved us. And she's like, I don't want you to die thinking that everything you did was in vain. She's like, because it wasn't. She's like, no. And Daki points out a really good thing that, and we see this in volume 13, that after that confession, Eren doesn't lash out at Mikasa like he was before. When Mikasa tries to help him, he doesn't lash out being like, oh, get away, I can do it myself. He kind of doesn't do that. He sort of just lets it happen. So it's like, yeah, that did have an impact on Eren at the time. The thing for us, the audience, is that Eren is so guarded and he doesn't ever reveal anything about himself as a character unless it's shown to us, that it's hard to notice that. So I'm really glad, Daki, that you pointed that out. That was a really good thing. But yeah, I honestly think Armin and Mikasa, they do as much as they can for Eren for as much as they know, but they aren't even given insight that we, the audience, are given insight about Eren's character. Because Eren, for being so loud sometimes and yelling sometimes, he's also very private and doesn't reveal a lot about himself. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic, right? But yeah, I thought those comments were really, really good. I've appreciated everybody's comments so far with these volumes. I can't wait to see the comments for volume 13 because that volume just completely made me go, what? And I have a feeling this volume's going to do the same. So yeah, when we last left off, Armin and Mikasa and the others are planning on, but as of right now, Eren and Historia are just kind of held up in a room. They've not been kidnapped yet. So it's interesting how it's different from the anime. And we've not been formally introduced to Kenny. We don't know Levi's connection to him yet. Hanji is bound and determined to get information. from Sanus, who we've just seen be about to be interrogated by Levi and Hanji. And Erwin is giving some cryptic information to Niall and making some maybe threats. And we saw the fake king for a second. So I'm curious. I kind of regret what I said before, where I think back when I started season 2, I was like, oh, season 2 is very underrated, and season 3 part 1 is my least favorite arc. And there were some people in the comments that said, oh, that's my favorite arc. And I was like, as soon as I say it, there's going to be people coming out of the woodwork to support it. But I guess my point of that was, I feel like season 2 is underrated and people don't give it as much credit as it's due. But I have a feeling I'm going to be eating my words and I'm going to like season 3 part 1. So we'll see. We'll see, right? But I've talked enough. We're not going to waste any more time. We are going to dive right into volume 14 of Attack on Titan's manga. And we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Again, love this cover. It's great. Pain. Oh, okay. Pain. Actors. Kenny the Ripper and Gunshot. I feel like Pain was that. Again, I'm going to assume nothing at this point because I'm trying to, I think episode 3 was Pain of season 3 part 1. Again, it's been a while. It's been like over a year since I've watched it and I've not really looked that up. So, okay. And then Kenny the Ripper. I love it, right? Why not? Okay. And so we have our character sheet. We have the characters with their titans represented. Of course we do. Marco and Hannes are still shown as being dead. I'm like, Hannes died 2 volumes ago. Get him out of here. I know why they're keeping Marco because people spoiled that in the anime. But keep that out of here. We're back to Pixis and Erwin talking. Yes, Pain. Okay. Humans will spill each other's blood in these cramped walls. Yeah, that's the thing. For the longest time, it's just been the Titans versus humanity. And so humanity, despite not getting along, has been able to unite against the Titans under that common enemy goal, which we will talk about, I'm sure, at length. I talked about it at length in the anime. I'm sure we'll talk about it at length in this as well. But so he's like, now that things are going to start getting revealed, that there's treachery within the walls, people are going to start attacking each other. Erwin's so serious there. Look at that face. Him and Pixis. So fascinating. And Pixis says he knew this day was coming. 107 years since the king forbade any interest in the outside world. He couldn't keep people trapped in this small world forever. It would end soon, and when it did, even I would have to turn my weapons on the king. I'm the man you took me for. I'm nothing more than an aging soldier. I like that Pixis says that. I can't lead my people into battle against other humans. I don't have the right. Okay. I love that. I love that Pixis is like, you made a good call picking me to help you, because you kind of morally you realize we had both the same moral core. He's like, but I'm not going to fight my people. I like that Pixis has always been like, I don't care to do something that people don't want to do. He's like, I don't care to do people's dirty work, but I'm also here to take collateral damage into consideration. I'm not going to do something that's going to cause maximum harm to my people. I just will be the bad guy if you want me to be the bad guy. Erwin, on the other hand, is like, if it's for the greater good, I don't care who we sacrifice. And it's like, goo. Yeah, but that look at the bottom there of Erwin, like that soft look. Erwin has the best panels where he's just giving that soft expression of understanding and like, that is Erwin's self-sacrifice look, where Erwin's like, I'm about to sacrifice myself and make a gamble that's probably not going to be good, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm a gambler. Like, that's his expression. But you do have the right to judge me. He's like, convince me and I'll forfeit my position to join the Survey Corps as a recruit under your command. I'll do any miserable job you task me with. But what if what you're trying to do is a mistake? And I'll show no mercy then. He's like, and I'll send you to the gallows. And Erwin's like, I'm prepared for that. So yeah, Erwin's like, I'm making a gamble. And Pix is like, okay. He's like, if you want me to join you, I will. But if what you do is not right and ends up being a mistake, I'm going to show no mercy and throw you under the bus. And Erwin's like, I know that's a possibility. That's the one thing, too, about Erwin's character is that he in this moment here, you know, it takes a certain type of character to be okay with that. Because I could see some characters being like, you're going to throw me under the bus? You're going to betray me? Like, what? No, like you just have to follow me and do what I say. Erwin's not like that. Erwin understands that what he's doing is a gamble. And he understands where Pixis is coming from in keeping the people safe. And so Erwin, it takes, I think, a lot of cojones for Erwin to say, yeah, if I mess up, kill me. Like that is like a level, right? That I think that there's not a lot of characters that would go there. Eren ain't going there. Eren's not gonna be like, well, if I'm wrong, just throw me under the bus. No, Eren's like, I'm driving the bus, you know? So I think that speaks volumes for Erwin's character. And I feel like that character trait is something that Hanji will adopt once he dies, and I feel like Armin adopts it in a sense as well, right? And maybe even Levi, because Levi, Hanji, and Armin are kind of like they are what Erwin becomes. Erwin splits into those three parts when he dies. Okay, what's your plan? Do you intend to seize the royal capital with military force? He's like, you'd need a pretty elite group. He's like, but if you take the king's head, then what? You come down and kill the ruler of the world inside the walls and hoist his head up for all to see. Do you think the public and bureaucrats will cheer you on? No. He's like, the common folk are not like, they're not too unhappy with the status quo. That's the thing. He's like, I feel like, Pixis points out, he's like, the people overall, as a whole, are okay because they realize the situation and they blame it on the Titans and other things. So they're not really against the king. They're just unhappy with, I feel like at this point, the people in Walsina and Wal Maria are more against the people of Wal Rose, or I guess Wal Maria fell. The people of Walsina and Rose are more against the people of Wal Maria coming in because they're the immigrants. They're the threat, even though I say immigrants when they're all part of the Wall Kingdom. They're all part of parity. They're against the people more so than the administration, because the administration can pass it off being like, well, we couldn't do anything, you know, we just it had to be this way. So that's interesting. Space is cramped and there's a shortage of proper job and the taxes continue to rise. They threw the lower class outside the wall 4 years ago in an obvious move to cull numbers, losing 20% of the population in the process. And we know that Armin's grandfather was part of the lower class. Okay, but even under these circumstances, there have been no riots, because the king and the bureaucrats share a common fate. They've been cornered as well. To cause conflict would mean destroying it. Yeah, so that's the thing too. The people are like, well, all of us are kind of under the same strain, so why would we cause a riot when it's not like the administration is actively, you know, against the same mindset the people are in, seemingly. The royal bloodline has been unbroken for 2,000 years, a symbol of human prosperity. That is interesting. What an interesting thing to say, because the Wall Kingdom's been around for 107 years. The people in the Wall Kingdom had their memory erased when Fritz put up the walls, but yet the people didn't forget that the bloodline's been around for 2,000 years. How's that work? It's like a little subtle foreshadowing to 2,000 years in the future, and the chapter title of chapter 1, 2,000 years from you and for you, 2,000 years in the past and the future. That part wasn't forgotten by the people, but the reason why they've only been inside the walls for 100 years was, interesting. The crown ruled the world before we were chased here. There we go. The exalted line is what sustains the people's hearts. So they were chased there by the Titans. That's what they remember. That's the story that's been passed down, that they were chased there, which is not wrong. They did leave and kind of went to their own little island and erected the walls so that the people would leave them alone. That does make sense. That does track. If we were to butcher the symbol of prosperity and start a war during the height of a crisis, do you think the surviving commoners would bow down to you? No, even if they did, the nobles who govern would never accept you. The gun-owning aristocracy and the surviving military police would join the royalist faction and raise a rebellion. Yes, no revolution by force can avoid this. Forget your plans to retake Wal Maria. Erwin, do you have another vision of the future to show me? I love this. I love that Erwin's like, well, we have Historia. She's royal blood. We'll use her as the figurehead to take over. And the people will love her just as they love, and will out that the king is fake. Right? We plan to replace the king. And I love Pixis's face where he's like, that's too bad. I love that because at first Pixis thinks it's just going to be a military coup. And he's like, after all I just told you and all the damage it's going to cause, you're still going to go through with it. And then Erwin says, we're not going to use an armed force or kill anyone. And Pixis is like, what's this pipe dream? Sure, is that even possible? If we're wrong about this key factor, we'll all be hung for sure. But we have the most important piece to make it a reality. Ha! And then Pixis realizes it's another gamble. Yes, he's like, I'm a betting man to the end. Uh-huh. Would you listen to a story about my childhood until I hear the news? Nice. I like that little narrative. Isayama makes that little narrative jump there, being like, hey, we're waiting for this piece of news to arrive. You want to hear about my childhood? You want to hear about this exposition about my character while we're waiting? And Pixis is like, I guess I have no choice. Isayama's going to write it in anyway. His father was a teacher. I learned in his classroom. So I like his dad and him were raised in the same area. Something would happen that would change the course of the rest of my life. That day we learned history. I love his dad. I love that Erwin looks like his dad. About how humanity ended up cornered inside the walls. It's something every child learns. And we have the drawings, right? There was not a single historical record left from the day humanity escaped to the safety of the walls. The majority of humanity perished, and we were left with a tiny bit of land, but we managed to put an end to our constant conflict. He said we had gained an ideal world inside the walls. And that's when a question came to my mind that I asked my father. I like that there's a girl with freckles that kind of looks like Marco there, or Ymir. I asked my father. And little baby Erwin, look how cute he is! Little baby Erwin looks so stoic and cute. And his dad deflected the question and finished the class. But when we returned home, he answered me. He said the history texts the royal government distributed were full of mysteries and contradictions. Even if there are no documents left about those times, the generation that first entered the walls should have been able to teach the history to their children. But on the contrary, it would have been next to impossible to keep completely quiet and say nothing about the outside world to the next generation. What he said was astonishing even to a child like myself, but I wasn't smart enough to figure out why he hadn't talked about it in class. And so he told the kids in town, and that's when the military police came and asked him about it. And my father didn't come home. He was in an accident in a town far away and died. Because of my betrayal, the crown killed my father. And we wonder, we don't know exactly where in the walls he was raised. So Erwin could have also realized the military police came and he's like, we're not in Walsina, why are they here? And put two and two together because he was smart. And a little tiny Erwin with his little suit on. So sad. Somewhere along the line, my father's theory became fact to me. I made it my life's mission to prove his hypothesis. Humans turn into titans. Titans turn into the walls. In this world full of miracles, my father doesn't seem so crazy for believing that 107 years ago, the people who escaped to these walls had their memories altered so the king could control them better. Yeah, like he figured it all out, right? He says, because there would be no way our society could have been built inside these walls. Yes, that was my father's theory. And then I witnessed a miracle that seemed to support it. Eren controlled the Titans. The female Titan could do something similar. It seems some of the humans who possess Titan powers can use their scream to manipulate the wills of many Titans at once. It's so fascinating to see how much Erwin figures out without figuring out like the coordinate and all of that part there. But he's drawing conclusions that we, the audience, are kind of drawing as well. Our discoveries in the Ragako village showed humans and Titans are not biologically unrelated. It's possible the Titans aren't the only ones who can be affected by these screams. And the government's interference in our activities grew extreme only when they learned that Eren had manipulated the Titans. Yeah, the government wants to have the power of Eren's scream. And Pix is like, well, that changes everything. Yeah, if your hypothesis is true. Their goal was to kill Eren at first, and we resisted, saying the hope of mankind couldn't be put to death. But in reality, is it not possible they wanted Eren's abilities so they could use the scream as a way to protect humanity from the Titans? They have nowhere to run. They share our fate. If our goals are the same, there's no reason for us to fight one another. They know things we do not. Would it not be an option to put him in their hands? He said, yes, I'd hoped the same thing until 5 days ago when I was summoned to the Chancellery. Okay, yes. Since I was a child, I wondered why my father was killed simply for getting close to the truth. They must have had their own reasons. But it's not humanity they want to protect. It's their positions and their gardened homes. Oh, I love how that's phrased. Yeah. Anything that threatens their authority, even if it's not a Titan, even a human, they'll eliminate all the same. There wasn't even a speck of legitimacy behind my father's death. He was killed by human greed and the foolishness of his own son. Oh, man. I kind of love the relationship Erwin kind of has with Eren in this regard, that his guilt drives his resolve. That in both Eren and Erwin's case, they're both two characters that are kind of driven by resolve through guilt. They both feel responsible for their parents' death, and they're trying to rectify that and do right by their parents and kind of atone for what's happened. So that's interesting, right? To the royal government, there's simply too many humans whose deaths wouldn't matter. We cannot hand Eren over to them. I like the parallel too, where at first when Pixis, when he thought Erwin was going to overthrow the government and cause a coup, he was like, I see, that's too bad. And now that Erwin's explained, no, we can't give Eren over. We have to stop them. He's still like, oh, I see. That's too bad, right? It's that parallel. So you have a way to enact a bloodless revolution. And that's when this girl that looks like Mika said with a bowl cut comes in. I did say we wouldn't kill, but some blood will be spilled. Ooh. And the blood being spilled is, yeah, in this case, oh God, breaking the fingers. Nope. Oh. This is my first time torturing a human. Oh. Oh my God. Oh. And him screaming. And then Jean says, I signed up to fight against the Titans, but now I don't even know who our enemies are. Why are we resorting to something like this? I feel like Jean and Armin are both like, Connie's just covering his ears. He doesn't want to hear the screaming. But I feel like all of them are like, why are we torturing this man? Like, this isn't what we signed up for. But then Eren says we don't have a choice. If we fail, humanity's just going to be eaten by the Titans. We're planning a coup, like the commander wrote. I doubt this is all we'll have to do. Eren seems quite on board with the coup. Eren seems like, nope, this is what we gotta do. It's just how things are. And so, but then Sasha says this is gonna make us traitors. What if we fail? And John's like, well, we're gonna be publicly hanged. What do you think? And Armin says, we're trying to change a system that's been here over a century. There's no precedent, but why don't we try to get the masses on our side? If we can use the confusion caused by the Titan attacks, we can agitate them by blaming the attacks on the government. The plan might work out. That's fascinating. Armin right here is like, why instead of a small scale thing, why don't we try to communicate? Again, Armin's trying to communicate. He's like, why don't we communicate with the masses? Now, granted, there's some manipulation going on there, but he's like, why don't we try to talk to the people? Armin's saying we are not going to be able to just radically change a system that's been in place for a century without getting a hold of the masses and swaying them as well, right? That's what we've got to do. We've got to convince the people, and then the people will sway the small. We've got to convince the masses will persuade the small. Okay. But then the government would probably turn its gun on the people too. There'd be a lot of tragedies. But that might be unavoidable to save humanity as a whole. If we get some sort of symbolic incident, we can frame it as all the fault of the government or the military police brigade. Then the Survey Corps could appear as the saviors, creating the strong impression that we're the only people in the masses can trust. I'm sure they'd be easy to fool. Oh That perv messed with your head. No, Armin's always been good at thinking up insidious, underhanded plans. I don't remember raising him like that. Ah! Oh my God! Eren calling Armin out, saying he's always been good at making up insidious, underhanded plans. Man! I mean, we've seen Armin, like, hinted at this with Charge, right? And trying to persuade Bertolt and Reiner. But that's so interesting that Eren's the one that calls him out for this. That Eren's known that Armin's had this dark side to him this whole time, right? So, I want to backtrack to that a little bit. Saying, well, I want to read this next page first. We're already criminals, you know. The enemies we're facing aren't going to eat us if we don't kill them. They're enemies because they have different ideas. Or maybe just because they're in a different group. Sometime soon, we might have to take people's lives for reasons like that. We're not good people anymore. There is so much to these 2 pages. There's so much to these 2 pages. Oh my gosh. So on the one thing with the not good people anymore, that is a direct callback to Annie asking Armin if she's a good person. Because she is attacking... That's all Armin is realizing... that Annie's argument from back then, he is realizing that she and Reiner and Bertolt and all of them were attacking Parody and attacking the Survey Corps because they're just in a different group with different ideas. That's the only reason. He's like, they were taking lives for a reason like that. And Armin's like, we're not a good person anymore because we're just like them. I feel like that's one of the things, Armin coming to that realization. And Armin doesn't articulate that they're just like Annie and Reiner Bertolt in this moment. But that realization, I think, is going to be one of the things that makes him get on board much easier with the Warriors and all of that, because he's going to be realizing, yeah, it's been like this the whole time. I realized this back in this chapter, right? You know, chapter 55 or whatever. He's like, I realized this way back when. Yeah, it's always been like this. Just people, wars and stuff are just different ideologies, different groups of people fighting just because they have different ideas and beliefs. That's it. But this whole thing on the other page where he says, if we get some sort of symbolic incident, we can frame it as all the fault of the government or the military, and then we could appear as the saviors and create an impression that we're the only people the masses can trust, and they'd be easy to fool. I mean, that goes in multiple directions, right? I mean, on the one hand, you have, that's how Marley's government has been able to persuade the masses for so long. You have, on the one hand, that kind of goes back to Eren and the Jaegerists. They use the idea of Marley coming to invade as an impetus to make the Jaegerists seem like the saviors, and that they have to fight Marley and anybody that opposes them. You have that. But I also think you could use the rumbling in this situation, where Armin's like, look, the masses could be easy to fool because they don't have all the information. What I'm thinking of is season 4, part 3, and I don't want any spoilers, but what I'm thinking is that Armin is suggesting at this point in the story that, you know, a symbolic incident like the rumbling, Armin's like, we could frame it as, you know, instead of the fault of the government or the military police, we could frame it as Eren's the bad guy. Eren did all of this. We, as the Warriors and the Survey Corps, could come in as the saviors, stop Eren, and convince the masses that they're the ones to trust, not only the Warriors of Marley, but the Survey Corps of Parody, and change those mindsets and use Eren kind of as a scapegoat to fool everybody into thinking that, no, the Eldians are fine. We all are united under the same goal of stopping Eren. Now, I don't know if that's gonna, I don't know what's gonna happen when they meet up with Eren. That's what they're planning to do if they meet up. You know they're gonna meet up with Eren, that's gonna happen. But I don't know if that's what it's gonna be framed as, and then what happens to Eren. Do they actually kill him, or what goes down? I don't know that yet. I don't know, because I'm like, there's part of me that's like they're gonna kill Eren, but then there's another part of me that's like Eren's gonna escape, but then I'm like, what does Eren do if he escapes? So I don't know yet. But I don't know, but I feel like I could see Armin and them trying to twist the entire rumbling situation as a catalyst to get people on board with like, oh, we had problems with Eldians. Remember when things were much worse? We had bigger fish to fry, and the Eldians and the Marlians are the ones that saved us. Yeah, if Armin's like, we use this entire rumbling incident as a means of getting the world to believe the Eldians were saviors of theirs, then who knows what will happen. But I feel like this conversation on these 2 pages is something that's going to tie into the entire rest of the series. I'm going to be referencing it over and over again. But that face that Armin makes where he says, just kidding, I'm like, dear God, no. Armin's always been scary. Even before he got Bertolt, he always has been scary. Meanwhile, he's like, that's probably everything they did to Nick. Look, Sonis. This was pretty tough. Ugh. I'm glad they did not show us getting his fingernails. Did not need to see that. Oh. Oh, how many did you have to do to get that good? Too many to count. People with wives, newborn kids, it didn't matter. We did it to keep peace in the walls. Do you know why there's never been a war inside these walls? Who nurtured this peace that people enjoy or take it for granted? Us, the first squad. Ah! Every time we saw smoke, we went and put out the fire. A teacher that was too smart for his own good. Yes, Erwin's dad. And it shows Sonis was the one to, like, torture him. Oh. But I hate that one guy's, like, cheering him on where Sonis clearly doesn't like doing this. An old fool who made guns that threatened the king. Oh! And so we have the old man making guns. I don't think that... Who was the guy that made the guns? I don't think I remember that part. An idiotic couple who tried to fly through the air. And then that was Armin's parents, the idiotic couple that tried to fly. And even just a whore in some backwoods farm. And Sonis was there to see Kenny kill her. Oh, man. I don't remember the gunmaker, but the couple that tried to fly was Armin's parents, right? And you can see the girl there. She looks like she has blonde hair. Oh, damn. Humanity was able to come this far because we snuffed all of them out. Thanks to the first squad, you should be grateful. Really, thanks a lot. Yeah, you protected the world from technological advancements that could have helped us. Thanks. We should have erased you years ago. They must have thought that you'd die out there on your own. You're now the biggest pest threatening our peace. And I love that Levi's like, sounds tough. You worked hard to do your jobs. I get it. So why don't we start the torture? Are you ready? You're answering correctly or you'll be punished. Who are the Reese family? I like that Levi's like, just get this over with. Like, whatever. Their connection to the royal family is weak, officially. And I like that Moblin's there writing all this down, right? I like that he's been there the whole time. Bless him. They're kind of the aristocratic family you'd find anywhere. Why would that kind of family line have the authority to reveal secrets of the walls? People like you. Oh! Ha! Hanji's like, no. Yeah, I want one without a cavity. We need him to be able to talk. I've never seen people take so much pleasure in inflicting pain on others. I'm like, after everything he describes doing, he says that. Play your sick game. You love violence, don't you? Nothing excites me more. And then he says that, right? It's like, what is true, what is not? This is what must be done to bring about justice. Everything's so much easier if you think of it like that. You think of yourself as someone doing something great. You're monsters. Titans are cute babies next to you, but you don't scare me. I protected the king with my comrades for years. This is how much it hurts that our actions we thought weren't misguided. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing too. I feel like that connects to Bertolt and Reiner as well, because you have Bertolt and Reiner who thought, they were doing these things when what we will find out later on is that they thought what they were doing for Marley was going to help in a certain way. And then once they got to Parody and met, Connie and the others and realize that these were not the monsters they thought they were fighting, suddenly it calls everything into question. And it's like, we thought that we were doing these things for the good of our people and for the sake of our families, and now we're finding out that things are complicated, and were we actually doing good? And yeah, bringing all that into question. All I ever did with my blood-stained life, just torture me to death. And Hanji's like, I feel bad for him now. And that's when, like, Sonus has accepted death. But then they hear Ralph. One nail is all it took for you to tell us everything. Sonus doesn't have a single fingernail left, but he still won't talk. And this is where they made him say these things. And Sonus feels, and they've got him like the knife to his throat to say it. He ought to just keel over, always blathering about the king and peace. He's a pain for all of us. And Hannes is like, you're going to read what we say. Just kill him off for us until he backs up what you told us. I already gave you everything. Will there be a bed in my cell? If Sonus talks, we'll even room you together. It's like, man, that is the one thing that Armin and Hanji and Levi kind of prove in this, is that they are monsters. And what I like about it is that it's that thematically, what I like about it is, I don't like that they're torturing him, right? Obviously. But what I like thematically is that Armin has said before the concept of becoming a monster to fight monsters. And it's not necessarily the physical thing of becoming a titan to fight titans, but it's them using psychological warfare and being cruel verbally to match, and not only break the physical bones of Sonus, but break his spirit down. Like that's what's dangerous about Hanji and Armin, is that they are not only thinking of how Hanji and Armin are physically not a threat, right? I mean, yeah, they could probably fight you, but they're not physically a threat. They're a threat because they could psychologically destroy you. And that breaking someone's spirit is often worse than breaking a bone. So that is, oh my God, that whole thing of Sonus being completely destroyed from within. God, that's good. Yep. The Reese family is the true royal bloodline. My bet paid off. Everyone's like, I've been gambling, right? We just have to enthrone Historia Reese as the queen. Which is kind of what's so sad about it, is that you see Historia there against the window. What kind of sucks about it at this point is that at no point was Historia given a say in what was going on. Right? That's kind of what sucks about it. She did not get a voice. Again, if you want to relate her to Ymir being put on the throne as a figurehead, if you want to, both freckled Ymir and real Ymir, if you want to relate her to that, there's that comparison. But yeah, Historia didn't really get a voice at all. Everything was planned around her. And she ends up going along with it, but it's really sad because she kind of becomes like her ancestor, and like what freckled Ymir was afraid for her, that she wouldn't get to live the life that she wanted, right? Because if it was Historia's choice, she'd be off with freckled Ymir somewhere like on a farm, having all kinds of lady sex. So I feel so sad for her, right? And then, Eren, like, having the dream of Bertolt and Ymir talking. Oh, I like that little shot of Eren waking up. It's very cute. Ooh. Before I forget. Oh, and Eren has to run down and do something. Oh, I like they're on this little cabin by the sea. This little castle by the sea. What the heck? That's cute. Look at Jean's bedhead. Love it. Jean's bedhead and him and Armin looking at each other. And then, yeah. Oh, and how they were tricked. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh. He didn't say anything. He hasn't done anything. We told him that you'd been taken far away, and we threatened him with a knife to get you to say that. Yeah. You demons. Yes, yeah, and that goes back to Bertolt calling Armin a demon too, right? I bet Nick thought the same of you. Oh. Serves you right. One exits and another enters. The stage always needs someone in this role. When one actor leaves, another jumps in to take his place. The world will always have people like us. So break a leg, Hanji. Oh, that line, that monologue, yeah. So, again, what's fascinating about this is that the idea of there always needing to be that placeholder of justice and enacting in the shadows and doing things in the shadows. And I feel like by season 4, part 2, I feel like by that point, Hanji has tried to break from the cycle that Sana said was going to happen. And I know Hanji's going to talk about it later on, so I want to kind of wait till we get to that point. But I feel like Hanji at that point was like trying to break, by the end of season 4, part 2, Hanji's trying to break the cycle that Sana is talking about, right? But again, the whole thing with the Jaegeress is just, it's going to be a thing. And I like that we're getting previewed here, because then she just gets mad and kicks the table. Is something wrong? Oh, Eren breaking the table. She's like, oh, there was a cockroach. You know, nothing. I like that Hanji puts the glasses back down and is like, oh no, nothing's wrong, Eren. They kind of just want to diffuse the situation. Yeah, what's that paper? I remembered a conversation between Bertolt and Ymir, so I wrote it down. Uh-huh. I like that Levi says, damn it, 4 eyes. Okay. Oh, and that troop comes back. I like this person in the Survey Corps. I don't know who this is, but they're very cute. And Levi is very appreciative of them. Yeah. The message you have, Erwin. Okay, and then we have Dimo Reeves. I like that Levi trusts Dimo Reeves. Why you even trust my kid? Oh, yeah, there we go. Haha, Flegel. Yes, okay. I like Eren and them are like, wait, these people, what's happening? What's going on? And he says, stay here and listen with the group. Okay, this will shape the future of the world, and that's why we need your strength and your trust. Nice, okay. And then this girl shows up, right? How to have Historia take the throne as queen. Okay, we're going to have this moment. This is different from the anime. I forgot to tell my squad. Yeah, Levi, you left something very critical out. Yeah, Levi's like, oh yeah, I have to tell other people this thing. Yeah, about that. The current Fritz family is something of a proxy for the real royal family. The real one is the Reese family. And then Historia's like, well, shit. What do you mean I have to be queen? And everybody's just like, oh my God. Historia, you just said Historia would take the throne of queen, but is that the main goal? And yeah, Historia's like, nope, don't want to do that. If you walked up to someone and told them to become the ultimate ruler of humanity, not too many people would have the nerve to look back you in the eye and say, sure, but that doesn't matter, do it. That is, oof, Levi being like, yeah, about this. Oh, says, and I'm unfit. Then run. Run away from us as fast as you can, because we're going to do anything and everything to make you do what we want. This is your destiny. If you don't like it, fight. Beat me back. Oh my God. And that's, oh shit. Damn it. That's like literally Ymir and Eren and the Attack Titan, right? So it's the parallels between Historia and the real Ymir are like there, right? I look how Eren and them look so concerned for her in that moment. But I mean, here's the thing. I don't like that Levi throws her up in the air. I don't like how harsh she is. But Levi is like, look, this is the plan that we've got. We have no other plan, no other stake, no other possible, because I mean, it's so complicated, but you have the idea that if we don't, Historia taking the throne is the only non-violent revolution option we have. It is the only thing that will work. is if she takes the throne. That's it. So otherwise, people are going to die. So if she doesn't do this, we're going to have to resort to a military coup that's going to cause a lot of bloodshed. A lot of people are going to die, and it's probably not going to work. Otherwise, we stick with the status quo, and Eren dies or gets used, and we all possibly die or not. So Arwen's strategy is like, this is the only nonviolent option we have. The thing that sucks about it is that it gives Ymir no choice but to go along with it, right? And the thing about it is, yeah, it's a problem. I think that you could make the argument that Historia, I mean, the Reeves family right now, the Reeves family right now is just a figurehead, and you have the fake royal family. So I mean, I feel like after the fact, if Historia wanted to do some things to get out of the situation, she kind of could. But in the moment, you've literally just told a 15-year-old girl you're going to be queen of an entire kingdom, and she's had no time to process it. So of course she's not thinking of how could she make this work out in the end. Nobody's thinking about that in the moment. But what sucks about it as well is the fact that Ymir, just like her ancestor Ymir, she's put into a position where her freedom is being taken away, and that's being treated as her destiny. And then you'll have later on Eren feeling for Ymir, saying, no, fight it. If you don't like it, fight it. Beat the system back. And that's what ends up happening with the Titans. So it's all connecting there, right? Oh. And John's saying you're going too far. I like that Eren and Mikasa don't say anything. He said, what do you see yourselves doing tomorrow? Will you have food on your tables? Do you think you'll get a good night's rest in your beds? Will those around you still be here tomorrow? I never think so. And I doubt normal people think about these things on a daily basis, so that means I'm abnormal, probably because I've seen too many abnormal things. But if Wall Rose was breached tomorrow and we faced an emergency, I'd be faster than any of you to react and to fight. So yeah, I like that Levi's like, look, we don't have the luxury that other people have. He's like, we're being put in situations that are going to demand us to fight. And so Levi is saying, if you don't want this, Historia, you got to run and fight now. You got to take charge, no regrets, and do what you got to do. He's like, if things get breached and we don't have this plan, then we've got to do what we can. He's like, I'll fight even if I have to face that hell again tomorrow. I've seen terrible things. There might very well be more waiting for you tomorrow. I want to put an end to that recurring nightmare right now. There are those who would get in my way. But I'm fine playing the role of the lunatic who kills people like that. I have to be ready to rearrange some faces because I choose the hell of humans killing each other over the hell of being eaten. At least that way all of humanity doesn't have to be damned. Oh, okay. We didn't get this exactly with Levi in the anime. He's like, I will fight my fellow comrades as opposed to all of us being damned to being eaten by the Titans. Yeah, he's like, if we don't get our act together, because Levi is thinking of like all the different levels of this situation. He's like, in order to use Eren to plug the wall to keep the Titans out, and to have a possibility of us possibly finding out about the basement and going beyond the walls, in order for any of that to happen, we have to get the current military at Walsina out. And in order to do that, we have to use Historia. And he's like, I'm willing to fight humans because I know that the human conflict has a stopping point. And he's like, I can rearrange faces. I can deal with humanity because humanity can be reasoned with. The Titans cannot. So he's like, I'm going to choose to fight these little small conflicts of humanity versus all of us as a whole being completely swallowed up and damned. He's like, at least if some of us survive, that's better than everyone dying. And it makes sense, right? I don't know, you wouldn't have to agree with it, but I get it. I get what he's saying. But there's another way. If we can simply seize control of this world, a lot of people who would have died will live. That'd be nice, right? So it's up to you, Historia. Are you going to follow or fight? I don't care which. Just choose one right now because we don't have any time. I'll do it. Levi is very aggressive in this scene, and I know back in the anime, a lot of people were like, nope, not having it at all. I kind of get it because they have no time. They're like, we have to make a decision now. And he's like, and I like that Levi does say choose. He's like, are you going to do this or not? Don't be passive aggressive. Don't be on the fence. Just be like, either you follow or fight. Whatever you want, I'm going to respect it, but I need to know what to do. And then that's when she says, the next role I have to play is the queen. Then leave it to me. And I like that Levi's eyes kind of soften there for a second. And he's like, okay. Which still sucks for Historia, because now she's like, I had to play the role of the good girl, like Krista. Now I have to play the role of the queen. And I hate that for her. I hate the circumstances that makes Historia. I know that she's going to end up owning it by the end of this part, which is great. But I hate in the moment Historia believes like all she's there for is just to play roles that aren't herself. And I'm like, ugh. And then he says, we're counting on you, Historia. And then him looking over to everybody. Nifa! That's her name. Nifa. Look at her. She's got a name. I like her design. Little Nifa. Okay. I like that Eren's just kind of like, I guess this is what we're doing. And Mika's just kind of like, I can tell Mika's not happy with it either. And Armin, you can only see his eyes kind of just like observing, watching, right? So the plan, the day the Reeves company is to hand Eren and Historia over to the military police's first squad. The first squad is entrusting the Reeves company with everything from Eren and Historia's transportation routes. It's like, oh, this is different. We have to use this to our advantage. We'll hand Eren and Historia over to the first squad as planned. Oh! Okay. Rod Reese is the man who truly rules the world inside the walls. Wow! So this is a lot different than the anime. So instead of getting kidnapped by Kenny's men and having that whole thing, interesting. Instead of that happening, we've got that they planned to hand Eren and Historia over as part of Erwin's plan. Wow! I mean, that's not nearly as badass of an entrance as Kenny does in the anime. Different, but it makes it seem more in their control. Interesting. So how's this gonna go? Okay, the Survey Corps will guarantee his safety. Okay. So that'll get the dialogue started. So why is there a need for a fight? The Titans threaten us all, so why can't we band together and help each other? But I realize we're still ignorant. If Rod Reese has some understandable reason for disregarding us and the people, for forbidding travels outside the wall and keeping technology from advancing, you'll be the ones forced out. Yes. We're the ones who deserve to lose it all. So he's like, yeah, he's basically saying like, why, if there's nothing, he's like, unless there's some crazy reason why we can't, why this can't work, he's like, then we'll be the ones forced out. But until the answer is revealed, until I know, even if I'm wrong, all I can do is press on following my own beliefs and morals. The only goal we should have is to change the current system. Yeah, so, okay. We tie that kind of to Eren. That's kind of like the hell beyond the hell, right? I like that that's Erwin's belief there. He's like, until I know, even if I'm in the wrong, I can only move forward and go by my beliefs and ideals and try to change the current system. That's exactly what Eren says in season 4, part 1. That's literally what Eren says. The funny thing is, I think because of that, a lot of people think that Erwin and Eren would be on the same side with the rumbling. The funny thing with that is I think Eren and Erwin have the same line of thinking going on, but they are perpendicular to each other, going in different directions, right? I think Erwin would be all about saving the entire world to learn more about it, to know that, whereas Eren's like, nope, gonna save my pocket of people and destroy the rest of the world. I think that's the difference between the two, but their rationales for the reason they're doing the things that they're doing are the same. We'll have the crown handed from a placeholder king to the true queen. We'll force the people to accept that the system until now has been a lie and show them a new light. And if the Survey Corps is allowed to help, then we will. At long last, we'll be able to seal the hole in Wall Maria. And to see Eren and Historia side by side. And of course, you have Eren and Historia, who are both being used in this situation. The attack titan, the coordinate, and the descendant of the original Ymir both being used. Very symbolic. But Eren still believes at this point that it's all for a reason, it's all for the greater good, whereas Historia could care less. She's just kind of like my personal... Both of them are seeking freedom, and at this point, Historia is being denied that freedom, and Eren still believes that it's possible for him. So, oh man. Okay. And so, they all go to this cavern where Historia and Eren are tied up. Interesting. I'll play along with this stupid act. You're supposed to be held here for 2 days. It would seem strange if you're totally clean. Okay. What kind of person would rough up a little girl like her? Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh, I like that Flegel was like threatening to beat up Levi for like rough handling Historia. That's kind of chivalrous. That's kind of cool. I like that little character development with him. Nice. Merchants have to be able to read people. That awkward yet kind man. Oh my God! Describing Levi as an awkward yet kind man. Oh my God, Dimo. Oh my God. Is being true to his word when he says he'll protect us and the barely alive district of Tross, even though he really doesn't have to. A man must come from absolute nothing. So, Missy, excuse me, Your Highness, I know your boss is a scary man, but he's not a bad guy. Once you become queen, smack him and tell him I dare you to hit me back. Oh, okay. I kind of like this too. I mean, you could do it both ways. In the anime, Levi tells her. Levi is like, look, once you become queen, smack me and tell me to dare to hit you back. Like, in that regard, I liked it because Levi was telling her, like, Levi was kind of revealing the man behind the curtain, saying, look, I know I roughed you up and that was bad, but just know that I'm not meaning anything bad by it. Smack me once you're queen and make me pay for it. Okay, but I love this. I love, one, that we get character development with Flegel, that Flegel's character develops. I like that we get a little bit about him being chivalrous and like wanting to protect Historia. And then I like Dimo explaining to Historia, being like, look, merchants freed people, and Levi is awkward and is not good at communicating, but he's actually a kind man. He's scary, but he has a good heart. So just be sure to get back to him once you're queen. And Eren's saying, I like that. You should do that, Historia. How do you think he'll react? Oh, I like that. I like that Eren kind of like tells her, like, go ahead and do it, Historia. That's sweet. All right, so the items you ordered. Oh, they're little blades. Hands and feet and under the tongue. They said not to cut you in any way. How ridiculous is that? Oh. Okay. So you too, Missy. If it comes down to it, someone needs to hurt Eren, it can be anyone. So the plan goes south. Or if we get to Lord Reese and we need the situation under control. So it's so Eren can transform. Okay, so he has like, it's kind of like Annie in the Ring, right? Oh my gosh. This is crazy. This is so much different than the anime. All right, and they're here. Oh my God, this is insanity. Like, I actually like this. I like this planned out. It doesn't, the thing about it is, on paper and in manga form, this flows a lot better. I could see in the episode, if it was animated, that it might lull and people would be like, this seems really slow paced. But in the manga, it works great. Okay. And there's Kenny! Oh man! Okay, but the reveal of Kenny in the anime is so badass that I'm torn. I'm torn because this is so good. Okay. I was there when you were given your new name. And that's when they bind Eren so he can't talk. It's been 5 years. Oh my God, of course Historia would be like freaked out by him. Okay. And Eren is piecing together that the MPs did kill Historia's mom. Okay, so Eren's piecing all this together. Okay. Oh. Who's this person? in the coat, huh? We came in it. Oh, what? What is happening? Why is he taking Dimo out into the woods? Don't go out with him into the woods. You're going to get killed. What? Okay, now he sent Flegel on, didn't he? I want to go back. He sent Flegel away. Is that right? Oh, he took Flegel. Flegel went out to use the bathroom, and that's when they showed up. Okay. What? Oh, so this is all just totally rearranged. Do you know a man named Levi Ackerman? Oh, my God. You're talking about Captain Levi of the Survey Corps. You'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who doesn't. Oh, my God. Kenny's so tall. He's probably searching like mad for those 2 brats we kidnapped. I taught Levi a lot. That midget is my pride and joy. Oh my God! What? That's why it's really my fault that this is happening. What? Flegel been behind the tree! Captain Ackerman. Oh my God! As you predicted, they were hiding a number of blades. Oh my God! Oh shit! Yes! I can't believe that's how it happened in this. Okay. Okay, so Dimo dies just like in the anime, but it's done differently. Oh my God. I'm going to have to go back and watch the anime now and see which version I like better. Oh my God. And that's when they introduced his name is Ackerman. He's my pride and joy. I knew it. Are all the company men dead? Yes, the 3 we found. Poor Reeves, killed by the Survey Corps. Yes, what a pity. And she's the woman. Okay, she's the woman that's with them. We have the anti-personnel vertical equipment ready on the road. Oh my God. What? Okay, so they bound and gagged Historia and Eren. I thought it was unwise to let a group that heavily armed run 3. I like that we get Erwin fan service like in the midst of all this. They're like, here's Erwin and his 8-pack for you. Feast. And then Levi. At last it'll be time for the anti-personnel squad to take care of them. Wow! And that's how we're introduced to them here. I mean, granted, anime is so badass. And they introduced the anti-personnel squad so badass too that you're like, what? Okay. Okay, Eren remembered some vital information about the Titans and it's bad news. We need to rethink this plan. But I don't agree. If it's true, it would be insane. I like that Erwin's slowly pouring the glass like, what are you talking about? Okay, and he's like, here's the glass. Reese wants to eat Eren. Uh-huh. And Erwin's just like, what? Okay, so they're at Trost. As Hanji's eating the bread. Okay. I'm sure you didn't want to eat a human. Ymir is one of the Titans wandering outside the walls. Okay. Yeah. Maybe they're so cute in part because of the pity you feel for them. Oh my God, Hanji being like, I like that Erwin's kind of like cute. Yes, his memories start with her saying, do you hate me for it? Ymir ate one of Bertolt Reiner or Annie's friends. Uh-huh. We know eating a human won't turn a Titan back into one, but if Ymir ate one of Reiner's comrades, whoever it was could possibly transform into a Titan. In other words, if a human who has been turned into a Titan eats a human who can transform into a Titan, they can turn back into a human. Or, to be more precise, they gain the ability to control the transformation. Hanji figures it all out. Hanji's like, oh yeah, about this. Yes. They threw Titans at Eren as he was getting away. They tried to steal Eren away, so why would they suddenly try to kill him? They were just trying to have another Titan eat Eren, so it can be transferred. Yes. Eren is just a vessel. He's interchangeable to them. Mm-hmm. Yep, and if they want to use the scream, then they'll just have somebody else eat him. They'll feed Eren to it. Yes, yep, basically. That's my take. Which, again, this is going to start the entire revelation to Eren that he is not necessarily special because he has Titan powers, but he's literally just a vessel for a power that is transferable. And that's not what... The power is what's special, not Eren himself. It's like... Yep. It's a wonderful twist on the chosen one narrative, because Eren literally is chosen, but it's not the way that we think, right? And so Erwin's saying, in the worst case, the plan would cost us Eren forever. We'd assume that he was irreplaceable, but now if we lose him, the plan to capture Walra Maria goes up in smoke. And then Reeves. Yep. It's the same. They're somehow related. Uh-huh. The mistress, they had trusted her and killed her. So why does Historia have the right to these secrets? And then there's Moblit! Yes! An organized murder in the middle of town. Murder? Get away from here, Hanji. Oh. Levi can decide for himself and do what you think is best. Yes, I love that trust Erwin instantly places in them, right? The next commander of the Survey Corps will be Hanji Zoe. You. Oh, what about your talk with Pixis? They broke down. Don't rely on him. I like that Erwin... Okay, he says the talks broke down, but that was part of Erwin's plan from the beginning, was to get it to where Pixis was a neutral party, even though he wasn't. So, yes, I'm glad that he's didn't want Hanji to get caught up in the plan and know too much in case if things went south. But, oh, man... Hanji's sitting there with the letter. And what's cool is that you have Hanji doing the dedicate your heart pose with the letter, and the arm that Erwin's missing is also the arm that's covered up for Hanji with the cloak. Look at that. Look at that. Erwin Smith, do you know who this is? Dimo Reeves. And they're going to blame the Survey Corps. Uh-huh. And so, yeah, they do everything about the Survey Corps attacked the president, yep, to capture Eren Yeager. Mm-hmm. You just had to bring everyone together and prove that you're innocent. Okay. And that's when Erwin steps up. And then, yeah, of course, the wife and the daughter are sad that Demo's, and they blame Erwin for the death. When Trost District was attacked, the delayed evacuation, he tried to bring all his belongings with him. But he made up for it. He'd rebuilt it for 5 years. Yep. He was trying to save this town. I promised to avenge him. Ah, oh, man. Ah. Oh. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay, Erwin. Damn. And then Hanji gets Flegel. Yes. Yep. To figure out what's going on. Yes. Dan and Jim. Uh-huh. By the first squad. A man in a black cloak. They went off with Historia and Eren. Okay. And then Flegel. I love it. And then Hanji confronts Flegel. Saying that you got a choice, Flegel. What you gonna do? And I like that Flegel calls Hanji out, being like, you're just saying what's best for you. And Hanji's like, yes, of course I am. And then Hanji's like, wait, we were yelling. Okay, 2 days later. This is just wild. Okay. And everybody's, I like, again, we have the preview. Okay. So here's the thing. Oh my God. What? So I remember back when season 4 part 1 started, and we had the end credit scene of Jean walking through town, and they gave him, like, he saw the image of the stuff going down, and Jean was like in the hat, like in the Marleyan gear, and it was like a preview that Jean and them were there. And I remember when it was happening, someone in the comments said, oh, that was an anime only scene, it's not in the manga. And I was like, please don't tell me any more manga spoilers. But this is basically that same scene where Jean is going through town with the hat on, getting the information and taking it to the Survey Corps. Ah! I love that they made a callback to it. Nice. They are passing these out, and he gives it to Armin. I like the way Armin looks there. The Survey Corps is dissolved. Man, okay. I was prepared to die inside a Titan's stomach, but to think a bunch of angry humans are going to lop off my head. And Armin's like, it hasn't come to that yet. Okay. I like that. So I kind of appreciate that all of this is happening much more low-key in the manga. Like in anime, there's that big battle. They fight the anti-personnel squad. That's how they get outed as traitors, and that leads to all of that. Anime-wise, it works. It works for the pacing, and it works for the excitement and all that. But this narratively makes more sense, but it's a lot more slower paced and quieter. So it's kiwis and pineapples, right? To thanks to the captain's quick thinking, our stakeout at Stohest district worked. Okay. All right. If we can find the records of how the walls were created, we can find out how Eren can harden his Titan skin too. Yeah, Armin thinking about it. Even if it does go well. And John says, Eve, if you're going to kill other humans, you can still count me out. If the captain did order me to kill, I still doubt I could do it. And Connie says, me too. With his Luffy hat on. Yes, with his Luffy hat. Captain Levi thinks he can use violence to make people do as he says. Just like what he did to Historia. Yet he acted so humble with Reeves. Threatening Historia when she was practically a husk of her usual self. Yeah, oh man. He probably did that to make her easier to control once she becomes queen. I didn't join Survey Corps to become part of a violent gang. What I did was dedicate my heart to saving humanity. Oh my god, this all getting brought up now. And Armin's like, well, we can't falter now. I like that at this point, Armin is showing how he's he gets the plan that Erwin has put into place and he's on board with it. But the others are questioning it. And all this is going to come back with the Jaegerists and everything else, right? It's all going to come back, right? It's just, And Mikasa saying, I always know something was off about that shorty, like her literal cousin. But I think our best option would be follow his orders. And Mikasa's like, we got to do what we got to do. Okay, and they all make this choice. So it is kind of like the same stuff that they make choices about in the anime. It's just done in a much more quiet and subtle way. Oh, wow, and now we go back to this. So maybe we are going to get this. Maybe we are going to get it. It just took a lot more time to prepare for it. So Eren and Historia are inside the coffins. Okay. Getting taken away. Oh my god. Oh my god, we are going to get it! Yes, okay, I was starting to doubt that any of this anime stuff was even going to happen. But yes, okay, we are getting it. What? Oh my god. Reeves. Have you ever heard of Kenny the Ripper? The mass murderer from the city. The one they say slit throats of our 100 MPs who tried to capture him. I lived with him for a time when I was a kid. What the hell are you? Oh my god. Oh, Nifa. Oh my god. I forgot she was in this. I forgot she died. Oh my god. Yes. It's all Celine Dion's playing right now. It's all coming back to me. When you're stalking a target as a group, surround them on both sides from behind, using high ground and good visibility. Oh my god, it's happening! Oh shit! No, it did! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! They just blew her face off. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh shit! Oh my god! Everything! Everyone's dead. Oh my god, Levi! Levi! Oh my god. And Levi's like, everyone around me just died. Oh, his face. Oh my god. Oh. Hi, Levi. Look how you've grown. Oh my god, we are getting this. We are getting this! Kenny! Wow. Okay, great. I'm glad this wasn't anime only. I'm glad this is a thing. Wow, we built it up so different. Oh my god. Gunshots. Oh, yes. Okay. Good. Oh my god, Nifa. And I was just loving her character design. God, just have her face getting blown off. Isayama, what are we doing? And then him just gritting his teeth, being like, just another one he's lost. He can read my every move. I'll lose the 2 caskets with my team. Of all people, how is he an MP? Oh, man. Well, Uri's the reason, but we're not going to get into that yet. Oh, my God. And ambush, and it's the anti-personnel squad. Oh, my God! Ah! Shit! Okay. Man, I'm so happy. And the saloon! Yes, the saloon! Shit. Okay, good. That wasn't anime only either. Yes. Oh, my God. And the man behind the bar! Ah! Yes! Hell yes! Okay. Levi of the Survey Corps! Ah! Okay. The stench of a filthy rat, and he comes in with the thing! Oh my God, yes! The law to shoot down the bad guys. Oh my God, Kenny! Yes! I'm here, Kenny. It's been a while. You just sprayed it with shotgun. Oh. I wouldn't expect a kid to understand how adults work. Uh-huh. Okay. And then he being quiet to the saloon owner. Oh my God. Cornering a rat. I understood why you joined the Survey Corps. Get the accent in there. All we could see for ourselves was a lifetime of living in a garbage dump. It took everything we had just to make it to the next day. The day we found out how big the world really was, of course it hurt. Yes! Oh my God, and it's like a mini version of the basement reveal. We found out how meaningless our sad little lives really were. But something saved us. We're a slave to something. We found something we wanted to do. It's simple but true. Hobbies make life worth living. He's like, oh, so blowing off soldiers' heads is one of your hobbies? Yeah, I'll kill anyone if that's what it takes to get a job done. And then the shotgun! Yes! On the table! Oh my God! Yes! Yes, please! Oh my God. Thanks, old man. Yes. Loving this so much. Give him the chair. Oh my God, Duran. I tell you what. Oh my God. Oh, and him just using the body as a shield. Levi. And then there's the shot! Oh my God. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. 10 of them. Damn it. Captain Ackerman, are you finally dead, you idiot? How's a dead man supposed to answer that? They let the bar owners have guns for self-protection. The shrimp got the better in his own way. I'm even further from my dream. Yep. Okay. All right. Getting Kenny in his dream. And gunfire. Yep. I like that Jean and them are all like, okay, let's switch to plan B. Levi was supposed to scale the wall using his equipment. We'd have 4 people ready with enough horses for everyone. The wagon would follow the hearse and secure the target by the time everyone meets, but they found him. I can't shadow the hearse like before. So how are they going to track them? Yeah. Okay. And there's the hearse. Okay, so we're going to get back to all this, right? And Armin and them going up beside him to try to connect with the hearse to get Eren and Historia back. Okay. And yep, they are guns. Yep. And and them seeing Levi kill them. And Mika's has like resolved herself already, but Connie and Sasha and Jean are Chaos Trio. Where are the other 3? That's the signal. Stop chasing the hearse. Our plan leaked. We're giving up on Eren and Historia for now. Their plan was to use the tourist bait to lure out and kill the rest of the Survey Corps. More ambushes are probably up ahead. That's how they killed the 3 with me. And Mika says instantly. Mika says mad because not only can they not follow Eren now, but the others have died as well. And Jean kind of has that steely resolve too of like, okay, Sasha, Connie, you bring the horses. Jean, provide the fire from the cart. Mika said you and I will use our gear to assist the escape. And she's like, what about Eren and Historia? We have to find a different way. And that's assuming we make it out of here alive. Kill the enemy when you can. And Jean, of course, doesn't want to do that. But Mika says like, yeah. Mika says like, whatever gets us Eren and Historia back, we'll do. And so again, Mikasa's not afraid of that, but Jean doesn't want to do it. And then there they go. Oh my God, it all makes sense. It all makes sense now. Everything was just reorganized in the anime, but it all came back around and made sense. Okay. And then Jean's like, more people are dying. Why did this happen? Jean, they're getting around us. And then she went to kill Armin, but then Mikasa knocked her down, and Jean said not to move. And Jean didn't want to kill her. And then she knocked his gun away, and she was gonna kill Jean. Oh my God, but we don't get to see who killed, what? Oh, did Armin, you could see Armin reaching from behind. Did he reach from behind to grab his knife? Did he do that? Oh, damn it! And then we have Eren getting released from the coffin. And it's Kenny and Rod. Rod Reeves, the guy who's been getting in our way, the enemy of humanity. From what Historia he's told us. Yeah, oh my God. And the funny thing is, the way that Isayama draws Rod Reeves there, when he's side by side with Eren in that shot, they don't look too dissimilar. That's funny. An irredeemable bastard. Oh, I love Historia's face there. And then, of course, Rod Reeves tries to gaslight her. We don't get to find out who the thing with Jean and Armin. What? You bastards. Oh my God. What? Of course, they have Eren in a straitjacket. Mikasa suddenly transforms into a stylish gal. What? I like her Survey Corps shirt. And she has like the chains around. She spends every day grooming herself to become the most fashionable gal. What has happened to Mikasa's body? Eren, what have you become? Of course, I like Armin's just like, and Jean's like, this is my dream. And Eren's like, no, I like buff 8-pack Mikasa. Bring her back. Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. The Survey Corps faces the bittersweet struggle, yet with no end in sight. Oh my God! Y'all, I am so enamored with this volume. Y'all, I'm so happy. I'm loving all the extra content. I am loving the reorganization. It's so fun to read the manga when you're not expecting it to be different from the anime, and this has been such a joy. Again, it's pineapples and kiwis. It's apples and oranges. It's pick your poison. I feel like it's so mind-boggling that we've had two entire volumes, half of the entire contents of season 2. 2 entire volumes dedicated to basically 3 episodes of anime. Just, it's crazy. And the thing about it is, it's so fascinating, is it's not necessarily new content. It's not necessarily information presented in a new way, or it's not information we don't know. It's just presented in a new way in a different means. So I kind of respect the anime a bit because I realize what they're doing. The anime was like, wow, we took a lot of time. Now, granted, the last volume, all the extra stuff with Eren, I am sad that the anime left it out because I was like, dude, that was so much character development for Eren. We needed that because it would be a nice preface for Eren later on. But in this volume, all of the information is there, kind of the same info we still get in the anime, but it's just packaged in a very different way. It's drawn out more, which I could see some people complaining, being like, oh, there was too many set location changes, too much. I could see why people, if they like the way that the anime did it, it does it in a much more concise manner. But I like this. I think narratively this makes more sense the way it's organized. It tracks better with the manga as a whole. But I'm not opposed to the way the anime did it. I'm not. I think it's fine. I do like, though, the way that the manga had the Levi, Historia, and Dimo Reeves and Flegel moment. I like the fact that Levi is given more time with his monologue to Historia, despite how you feel, whether for Historia or Levi or both. But I also like that it was Dimo that told Historia, like, well, get him back, it'll be all right. I like that it was kind of this outside party telling her that. And we know she's going to do it later. But I kind of like that. I liked Flegel's development in this. I'm so glad, though, for a hot second, y'all. For a hot second, I thought the anime stuff from episodes 2 and 3 was all anime only. And I was like, that sucks. We're not going to see Kenny fighting Levi. We do! But we do! And it was great. And I was fangirling, and it was wonderful. And the idea of the hearses is interesting. The idea of the coffins, that part, again, you could symbolically look at it as Historia and Eren are being reborn and resurrected from this point on in a different way in the story. Just saying. But yeah, I love that. And again, I'm pretty sure it's Armin that killed the girl. I think it was Armin that killed the girl to save Jean. I think that's what happened, if I'm remembering back. Because you see in the manga, you see Armin reaching for, like, maybe his knife or sword or a gun and shoots her. Right, to keep her from killing Jean. So, which we'll talk about next episode or next volume, but I'm like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. We got Erwin fan service. We got stuff being rearranged. We got Kenny calling Levi his pride and joy. I'm like, oh my God. I am enjoying the contents of season 3, part 1 in the manga. I am enjoying them to no end. Mm-hmm. Cheers, y'all. So yeah, I'm really excited for volume 15. I'm so excited to hear your thoughts down below, but this volume was a blast. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to wait to read volume 15, so we'll see. But in any case, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I will be back very soon with volume 15 of the manga of Attack on Titan.